So this is the official start. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to know what's going on, because I don't want to be with my back to the audience, because that's awkward, right? So maybe I'll just stand. I'm more mobile. Just
you can assign.
Move better, yeah. And I'll start giving you some signs. All right, I have some Dutch courage. Hello, I can say it because I am Dutch. You know, it's like the N word, but Dutch courage. Okay, I'll put this. Give myself some room. Cool. All right. We have to figure out a secret system. So everybody look away so we can come up with a system.
Okay.
Maybe something like that, or maybe I'll just do like that.
Maybe yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's start. Oh yeah, this is nothing really. Okay, so maybe we just browse through it a little bit, because the first things here is please keep going in that direction. This is my comic collective called Lama Los. There's 4 of us. We're a Dutch comic artist collection and collective, I should say. And we've been making comics for over 20 years together, because we're old. So if you stick together, you have this things to celebrate. We're working on a book that is going to be published by Belgium publisher, but I should probably go a lot with my finger. This is just pictures of me and the collective. We perform sometimes at comic festivals where there's bands and stuff, and just keep going. It's good if you just keep going a little bit. We do this is like puppets, like hand puppets. You know, Punch and Judy or something. You have them here.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. It doesn't really matter. It's not of any importance.
Is it the Dutch version of Punch and Judy?
It's Jan Klaassen and Katrijn.
Right.
Yeah, that's in there. I think there's. What is the Polish version? You don't have names for these main characters? It doesn't matter. It's not of any importance. So we have butterflies on our faces. We were in a couple of bands. This is one of our bands. The previous one was a psychedelic band that we did. But none of us are musicians, so it was just for performance. But we had some musicians, friends, that would help us write music, and we perform the one song that every band had once. That was the idea anyway, but we got picked up and performed it at festivals. But I feel I shouldn't be talking about this because it's taking too much time. Let's just keep going a little bit. We love to dress up. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit dark, but we love dressing up. So it's what we do. But we're basically comic artists. So I hope there will be some pictures of comics. So we met at art school, and we just love making books. So everything we did was make comic books all the time and like self-publish them. So this is just a few of the books that we did. Currently, we've been counting them, and we are up to over 200 books that we've made in this. But it's in 20 years, so that's basically 10 books a year, and there's 4 of us. It's only 2.5 books a year. It's really not that much, actually. We're lazy, but. Anyway, but if you put it all together and put it on one big table, 200 books is quite impressive to watch. So it's pretty cool. I've started last year to do a project called One Book a Month, where I make one book every month, a new book, and I send it to subscribers. But I'll tell you some more about it at the end of all this chaos of imagery. I'm not sure if you can make out anything that's going on. This is just covers of more books, so it doesn't. We're still doing a lot of covers of books, but you probably believe me by now that we did a lot of books. So hopefully, skip through this a little bit faster. This is just a book from the inside. It's just the 4 of us doing a silkscreen book, and but that's okay. Like I said, we love dressing up, and this is part of a cardboard battle that we did in Finland with a couple of Finnish comic artists. if you can just keep skipping a bit, these are some cardboard costumes that we did. We love doing those cardboard battles because it's a lot of fun. You got like 45 minutes to make a cardboard suit, and the other team does a suit, and then you just fight until one of them doesn't have any cardboard on his body anymore or something. And it's a lot of fun. It's not like about comics per se, but I feel that it's really close. So it's all comic artists participating, and it feels like it's part of the whole world. Like many comic artists collect figurines or something, and you don't have to, but it's somehow they do, and somehow comic artists like drinking and building stuff out of cardboard. I believe. I don't know if you all agree. Are there comic artists here among you? No comic artists? Aspiring comic artists? All of you? No? I hope so. Anyway. So the four of us, we have this. The previous one, yeah, thank you. Have a superhero. It has a cheese block as a head because we thought we'd make a really Dutch comic hero. So it has like a block of cheese for a head, including like a flag of the country, where sometimes how you present blocks of cheese, you know. So our publisher was like, oh yeah, that's so cool because SpongeBob is really popular. We'll put Cheese Hero on the top of the cover, and everybody, the parents are going to buy it because they think it's Cheese Hero. I'll put Cheese Hero on the cover, and we were like, no, we're not going to do that. It's stupid. So this is our first album ever of Cheese Hero, and he's not anywhere on the cover. We put Superman on the cover, and he says, Cheese Hero, oh, I'm sorry, he's not home. So it was just to fuck with our publisher, but it's stupid because who's going to know what this book is about? So we didn't think it through, but we just wanted to be like rebels or something. I don't know, we made it better with other albums, but keep going on. So these are some Cheese Hero comics that we did. Like this is from my colleagues. These next three, I think. This is from Alex, the one with Boris. This is actually a comic in 4 frames that you could maybe read if you can check it out. So you could see that there's some. It's like a children's picture book. So some things are changing. I don't know if you have to look everywhere. It's not really one joke or something. It's just a way of telling a story, I suppose. Okay, so we do some tributes sometimes. This was for a Spanish magazine called La Cruda, and they did a Möbius tribute. And so we tried to do a comic in the style of Möbius. And so we did. So we each did a page. So I think the next ones are on there as well. And we tried as best as we could with our thick Dutch fingers to do Möbius tribute. And it was fun. At the time, Möbius was still alive, and he saw the comic and he liked it. So that was pretty cool for us to experience. But we do a lot of tributes because if you like dive into like this Möbius actually drew this in my part of the comic because I don't know I don't know why it's in here, but probably to brag. But it felt good that he did that. So. But we do a lot of tributes because if you want to emulate someone's style and draw in someone else's style, I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed of that. You can learn a lot from it. So if you have like a favorite comic artist and you think, well, I want to do a comic just like them, don't like do it your whole career maybe or something. But it's good to now and again you get different artists that you admire and try and draw in their style. Like with the Möbius and the next ones, it's probably this is a Spar kind of tribute. It's a French guy, and then after I think there's going to be like these Jim Woodring type things that we did, but we just used our own figures. So the Poop Head and the Cheese Hero are in here instead of Frank. But if you do a tribute, you basically have to dissect the comic that you love so much, and you have to like really figure out. Okay, so how does he do his hands? How does he draw them? Or how does he do the shading? Or how does he do the black or you know, the way the page is I don't know, divided or something. You know, you have to really analyze this comic that you've, even though you've read it 100 times, you study it, you know, and it's different, and you learn a lot from it, because even if you go to the next next comic and it'll be completely different, you still you will have learned something, because you really, you know, studied on it and tried. Because if you try to imitate it, you look at it differently or something. I don't know. So I don't know what's next. This is our last album of Chihiro and Puchhead, I think, so far. This is I am also an editor for children's magazine, so I keep going a little bit. And I draw my characters, Victor and Vishnu, in them a lot. And it's for children, basically, from 8 to 12 or something. And the magazine has been around for 25 years now. I haven't been an editor for that long, I think from 2011 or something. But it's really cool, a cool magazine. It has some attention for literature and art and stuff for children. Please come in. Or don't. And it's called Bookie Bookie, by the way, and it's awesome. So these are my characters, Victor and Vishnu. This is I think my first book that was published in full color, like an actual album. I did one before, was black and white comic that were 24-hour comic day stories, and actually what are they called? Not Ligatura, but the Centrala. They published the Polish version of the previous book of Victor Vishnu. Actually, that's kind of cool. But this is them. This is my you know, main characters that I use a lot myself. One is a bear with glasses, and the other is somewhat of a bird monkey or something, like a hybrid of sorts. Oh, this is hard to read, so go to the next one. It's like it was pencil, so a lot of it was gone from the light, I think. So anyway, just some basic pages of Victor and Vishnu. So let's just skip through it a little bit, because I want to get to the end, because these are all fun pages. But this is some illustration work that I've done. This is a silk screen, actually. It's not illustration work, but I think what's coming is, this is part of a book. I brought a lot of books with me. I've tabled at the beginning, and this is a Riso book where the title of the book is Monsters Sitting on Chairs. And, well, basically, that's what's going on. It's monsters sitting on chairs, so you have like the chairs and the monsters, and there's not really a storyline or anything. It's just monsters sitting on chairs, which I really loved. Love making. But yeah, it's nice. Like, did you know that this little footstool has a name of its own? Like the Eames lounge chair is one, and then this is the Ottoman. It has its own name, but it's a pair. But it's ridiculous, right? But it's fun. So, all right, please keep going. This is the book. I only brought one with me because it's ludicrously expensive, and I don't have a lot of them anymore. So, okay, another Riso book that I did. That is me, by the way, at my best. But I don't know what I can show of this. I'm kind of working to it. Maybe it's a bit chaotic, but I'm working towards the end where I'm going to talk about my project. So we have to kind of get through this. So please bear with me. It's going to get better, hopefully. So please, this is just something. This is some inside of the book here. This is a Riso book. I did this book at 24-hour comic day. Maybe it's fun if I tell you something about it. I mentioned it earlier. 24-hour comic day. Do you know? Have you heard about this 24-hour comic day? It's where a bunch of comic artists get together, like worldwide. Everybody can organize it. You can do it at your home or whatever, and get together and draw for 24 hours straight. So you start on Saturday morning and you draw all day and all night until Sunday morning, and then you're completely tired and broken down. But if you've successfully made 1 page per hour, which is the goal, then you have like a new book of 24 pages, which is awesome, especially if you have lazy tendencies like me. You know that I'll just have to stick it out for 24 hours and then I have a new book. So that is awesome. I love doing it. It's every year in October or something officially, but you can do it anytime you want, of course. Let's see what's next. Just some. This one's, I'm particularly proud of this illustration. It's from free work, but this is also this is just some illustration stuff. Not really worth talking about. Yeah, I did some. Like if you slowly keep going forward, I did some. I do love to make stuff on my sewing machine because I feel like with any technique that I learn is like an excuse to make more stuff that is fun to me or that is somehow is part of the comics culture or whatever or something. So and I had an intern and she learned me how to sew on a sewing machine, and I felt unstoppable. So I made a lot of stuff on my sewing machine. Of course, I made costumes of the Chisora Poophead characters that we do as a collective. So now we can take these suits and we can go to festivals and or make crazy videos on the festival that they put on the big screens or whatever, and be there for free and drink lots of beers. And so it's a lot of fun. And this is like the early stuff that I started out with, and it's so much fun. This is maybe like real life size. Actually, this one, I think maybe it's even a little bigger. But it's cool, like toothpaste and stuff. And you know, sewing is so wonderful because I mean, you can draw it, but if you sew it, it's so much different, and you can do all these 3D stuff that is, I'm sure, is coming up. Well, it's really hard to see. Maybe do the next one. There's some suits that I did where the claws can move and stuff. And this is a train suit, actually. I don't know if you recognize this. It's based on a Dutch type train, and it's weird. But yeah, this is a video that I did for a indie band in the Netherlands. I never finished it because I'm really bad at the chroma keying of the green screen stuff. I don't know how to do it. So I filmed the whole thing and I started editing it, but I had some green screen stuff in there and I couldn't figure it out, so it never got finished. But I don't know, they moved on to other singles anyway, so didn't need it anymore. So this is just some 3D stuff. So let's just get to it. This is a monkey for a festival. There's 2 artists in there, so the hands and the feet can draw at the same time with the audience just shouting like, yeah, draw me a balloon that is doing something or other, and other. Anyway, you can do 2 things. Like, you know, monkeys have these hand, feet, sort of. So I thought it'd be cool to have people inside this monkey rock. There's people, there's 2 artists at the same time. I thought that's fun. Anyway, some sewing stuff. I made a big revolver. And this is also for a festival. Did a big monster where I have my shoes on big platforms of wood, and then I have a prolongated head. So I'm actually, I don't know, maybe 3 meters high or something here. I'm not sure, 2.5 meters, I'm not sure. But pretty big. And it's fun, and the pupil can move and stuff, and arms, and it's a lot of fun. It's just fun making cool stuff that I feel is sort of part of my comic universe or something, but then it's 3D or it's a suit and you can put it on and, you know, have fun with it. This was somewhere in Dortmund. We had this container where we could do what we wanted, and we just made like a shoebox, like a viewing thing in a shoebox, but really big or something. I don't know. This is another exhibition somewhere in Austria where I think the mountain is fun because it's made out of cardboard and tape, and then we painted it. If you keep going, there's you can tell how much fun it is, because yeah, this one and then the next, and it worked, and it says "Technique," So this is a beer with Drink Me. So if you can go back and forth with these, and that's so funny to me. Cool. All right, nobody drank it because they thought it was art or something. Must be art. So everybody was too scared. Nobody drank the beer. Actually, it was.
They could be punished, all of these pieces of art just don't touch.
Yeah, of course. Everybody is conditioned, like, don't touch the art, of course. But that's why we put a label on it, Drink Me, like it's inviting, but it was probably too much art. Next time we'll just leave the whole mountain and just put the beer with Drink Me or something. Maybe people will take it, I don't know. So this was just, I don't know, just skip it. It's fun, and you can sit on it. It's relaxed beds for on a festival or something. It's monsters and mouths and what have you. I feel we've been going a lot about this 3D stuff. So we had little paintings of eyes and mouths and hang them on the wall and then paint around it. And the idea was that, yeah, so at least we already have the eyes and the mouths. It's less work for us. I don't know if that was the reason, really. It just, maybe the reason was it's fun that there is some 3D-ness, even if it's just this big. I don't know. Yeah, this was in Riga or something. Yeah. This is just this is a cool exhibition that I'm proud of, but I don't really think we can go into this. It's the revolver again. This is a big Elvis head, where also out of cardboard, because we did a lot of cardboard battles, but then thought, well, we can do all other kinds of things with cardboard, so we made a big Elvis head, because you might not know this, but Elvis is the honorary citizen of the city of Budapest. And so we were in Budapest, and we thought that is just amazing information. And we did this Elvis head, and you can put a ball on the top of his hair, and it goes through his mouth, and then there's a tongue coming out of it, and then there's this thing is here, with like a yes, no, maybe not a chance, like Magic 8 Ball or something. So ask a question and Elvis will answer the question. This is a suit of a tapeworm that I did. It was actually an assignment. Because if you do something long enough, people will start realizing that you do this, and people will come to you like, hey, can you make a suit out of a tapeworm? All right. I'll see what I can do. It's a really boring thing, but it was for a rapper, a Dutch rapper, who had a song about a tapeworm and had a dance where you had to jump up and down. It was weird. But luckily the head of a tapeworm is pretty interesting. It's like really monster-like and weird. Other than that, it's pretty boring. So yeah, it's just basically a really long bit of nothingness with some stripes. So it was a weird suit to make, but it was an assignment, so what can you do? Alright, yeah, this is a cool hat. A cool hat. These things have, but I don't know, you don't want them. Don't invite them into your body, but still, they have a good hat. So, alright, next please. Yeah, some more suits. So, alien autopsy table, a hole in the alien, and you can go underneath it. And your friend have a laboratory coat, and cut the alien open, and help! I'm so glad you freed me from this alien. I don't know, it was for a festival, obviously, where a lot of drunk people can enjoy this with their drunk friends with the lab coats on. So, okay, yeah, I just still monsters and stuff. Okay, let's skip through it a little bit. So this is going to be the Nautilus story, the comic for the Bookie, the children's magazine. It was Jules Verne, 20,000 miles below the sea, and it's about Captain Nemo and his Nautilus, and that's his submarine. We had an exhibition at a pretty cool art museum because we had our 25th anniversary as a magazine, and so we needed some, well, 3D stuff, actually, for the exhibition, not just frames on the wall, but have some 3D stuff. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. And it just got more stuff, like plastic stuff and cardboard and all kinds of stuff. So this is just, this is a tip from like salad oil or olive oil or something, this cup, with the thing. And then I thought, oh, that's cool. It's like the hatchet where you come out of from a submarine, right? So I put it in, and I put a little wheel in it, and I painted everything, and then, well, it's hard to see, but then there it's like, you know, it's the hatchet from a submarine. I thought it was clever or something of myself. Just all these things that you can use of materials that exist. I thought that was so cool that once you glue it together or stick it together and then put some paint on it and give it some wear, it'll be cool. And I have to say, I'm really a beginner at this. I know some people that can transform a can of washing detergent into like the coolest science fiction automobile or flying thing or something. There's some really fantastic artists out there that have been doing this for a long time. This is my first crack at it, so I wasn't really. It's even so far removed from comics. Even I want to go somewhere. Let's see how much time I have left. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. So it's getting together and a lot of paint work. I don't know. It's not really that interesting. It's more interesting for me. I should have taken these out probably. So yeah, this is the Nautilus with the thingy there. You know, from the olive oil or something, and there it is. And so, but there's, you know, the Nautilus is he encounters some octopus, some giant octopus in the story. I don't know if you know the story of the 20 leagues beneath the sea or something, like that. 20,000 leagues, of course. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of stuff is going on. And I used to already collect these bottle caps for no reason, really, but I had a big bag of them at home, and my girlfriend wasn't sure why, and she kept asking me why, and then all of a sudden I had a purpose for them, because I used them to make the suckers or the suction caps for the octopus. So I glued them on, and it's all paper mache stuff. It's really again, I'm a beginner at this, so I don't know why these pics are in here. It's just me having fun, I suppose. So yeah, painting it. All right, let's keep it going. Yeah, all right. So and then it's the thing is really dark photos. Actually, the Nautilus is in the arms in the tentacles of the thing, and maybe there's a slightly better one. Oh yeah, and he comes out of a book, because I thought that would be cool, because it's like about books and a magazine and the Jules Verne thing, and I thought, all right, that's cool. It comes out of a book, and it's these octopus. Oh wait, yeah, this. Oh, I'm so glad this one is in here. All right, this is the table I did with our 200 books for. I did this for a festival in Switzerland, the Fumetto Festival, which is one of the best I've ever been to. It's so good. They have so many exhibitions and so much stuff going on. It's ludicrous. So at this point, it's not actually 200 yet, but it's about. But I love this table with all these books side to side, and you can walk around and read all of them if you want. I don't think anyone actually did read all of them at the table, but you could if you wanted to. All right. Well, I'm glad the photo was in there. All right. Hey, that's good. So now we got to the portion. This is going not well with my Dutch courage. Should talk less maybe at this talk. Because I started 2008. I started with a project that I mentioned it earlier. That is the one book a month project. So I decided, because I love making books so much, I decided, okay, I want to make more books. And what can I do? What if I make one book every month? And I was gonna make one book every week, but I'm glad my girlfriend talked me out of it, because it would have been stupid and not good. And also, I would probably not be live today to talk to you. But one book a month is still a lot of work. But I thought, oh, it's so much fun. I'll get subscribers, and I'll send the new books to them every month, and it'll be cool. And because you know, they pay me some money up front, and they don't know what they're getting. So there is some element of trust or something going on that is completely like heartwarming for me. Like these people, like sort of. I mean, maybe they saw some of my work before or whatever, or they know me, whatever. But I just think it's so cool that they have trust in me to send them some cool new stuff every month, and I have been doing that. And so I want to spend the rest of this lecture about my one book a month project, because I started in 2018 and I've almost completed that. It's not 2018 anymore, but I was 2 books behind, and I did the book 11 for that just this week. I'll come to that later. And so they have one book still to come, the 2018 subscribers for me. I'm working on it, and then it'll be later in February, and I'll be 2 books behind for the 2019 project that I've promised to start. So, but it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. I have a lot of cool ideas for the next project. Okay, so the first book I did was this. This is my January book, and there's pictures there, but I think the colors are better in real life. This is I thought, okay, I'm gonna start like really cool. I made this cool book, and it's about a cowboy, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but you can maybe come after or come at my table. Maybe a few months later, I won a prize with this book, so that's cool. So all my subscribers now had a prize-winning book in their collection. So that's pretty cool. It was like a comic graphics prize or something, and Joost Zwarte, he presented the award. He was one of the 2 judges. I think Guy Delisle, a French guy, was the other judge for the contest. I don't know if you know these people. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to brag. Just some information. So that was the January book. It's well, you know, it's about cowboys and just having fun, just drawing. I thought, okay, I have to make these books in like 2 weeks out of a month, so I can do some other stuff. You know, maybe I'll do some illustration assignment. Maybe I'll come to a comic festival or something. You know, I can do some other stuff. So I think I draw I came up with the story and I drew the pages in 4 days, and then it's maybe another week and a half to finish all this stuff, and so it worked out pretty good. And then I did this. There's a little surprise in here as well. This is the February book, and it's called 65 Riverside Drive, and this is the cover, and it comes with a little surprise, a small leporello of a worm who reads his own letter, and because I had some space left on the bottom, you know, this is the size I wanted, but I printed it on larger paper, and I thought it's a waste to, you know, just throw it away. So I just printed it on the bottom, and I had this tiny little leporello. I mean, it's not a story or anything. It's just fun, you know. It's just cool. I want to make every book that I send like oh, it's like a present, or it's like, you know, something fun. This story is actually about like a bunch of animals who live in this house, and they have a house meeting. So the whole story is about those animals having a house meeting and talking about who leaves garbage where, and hey, this is our new tenant, and like really boring stuff, really. But I thought it was fun. I thought I could, you know, it's more about interaction of, I mean, well, human beings. They're like, you know, animals, humans, sort of the same usually for comics. So, and I liked it, and a lot of people like this, and I think I'm going to do some more for the 2019. I'm going to do more of these books of these type of animals, not particularly in this house, but in this town or something where they live, and so I can like expand this universe because I like working on it a lot, and it also makes it that I secretly I'm working on sort of a larger book, like a bundle of all these things, you know, but I present them as short comics that I send every month to subscribers, which are fun. It's fun stories. But if I do a couple more, I can just put them together and find a publisher and say, hey, maybe I'll color it or whatever. I'll do something else to it. And you know, it's like a secret plan, secret in the back of my mind that I'm not telling my subscribers, but they kind of know. It's just like, once I make the other issues. Right. So then I think this is April. This is the Happy Fruit Friends. So I did this. So like I do. Sometimes we do. You can do some more pictures. I don't know. There's probably pictures about the books, but I'm not sure if they're really clear and if you can see them or not. And I'll just talk about it. And maybe if you can see a book that I'm holding up when you go there or something, you know, let's do that. So I told you before about doing tributes, tribute comics or something like that. And I was really inspired by Roger Hargrave, who does the Mr. Man books. You know, these like the children's books, like Mr. Happy and Mr. Tickle and Mr. Strong, and you know, these like 70s, 80s children's books. Anyway, they're like sort of square and they have a shiny outside. And he did. I looked at how he did his coloring, and I thought it was about. Oh yeah, this is pretty readable. So this is basically a story. You can click calmly forward and you can sort of read it. And alright, it's a bunch of short stories where the orange meets other fruit, and you know, basically something silly happens or something. And I tried to get the coloring like he did that right, and get his style. And okay, if you don't know it, it doesn't matter. I make this book. And I thought, okay, so maybe it's cool to add a button of the orange in there, and if I put it like this in here, and it's just as thick as the book. So if you put it next to the other books and you want to keep the button here, you can do it because it's just as thick and it fits. It's kind of cool, but it fits. Alright, so okay, so and then I was every month I can like basically come up with whatever I want to do, like what do I feel like doing, and that's what's so great. So all the shapes are a bit different, all the materials, all the subjects, even the styles are sometimes quite different. And so I was, next week in April, I was inspired by these botanical prints, like these old tiny you know, flowers, and then you have their roots and all their, you know, how they sprout. You know what I'm talking about? These old botanical, and some of them have this black background. Not all of them, some white, but these black ones especially, they pop off the, you know, off the screen, and it's so fantastic. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do something with that, and I'm gonna take Professor Fleischmann, who's that little guy in the green overcoat, and there's a professor that we've used with the collective for some other comics. But I thought, I asked him, hey, is it okay if I use Professor Fleischmann? He said, sure, do it. And it was okay. And he's just basically studying flowers because he's a professor, and then at the end, basically, it turns out he's standing at a flower shop trying to decide which flowers to get, and he's ringing the door of somebody with some flowers. It's a really romantic story. But anyway, so but I like doing this a lot because of the, you know, the fun new flowers to come up with, bright colors, black backgrounds. I just thought it was so much fun. And then somehow nobody likes it. I don't sell this one at all. I'm not sure how, but you know, you can never tell what happens. So the next one I did, I did a book by Henry, the Psychedelic Pizza Slice, and I did a previous book just as a small press book a few years back, and I thought, I'm gonna get back to that because that is a book that a lot of people do like, actually, and I like it too. So I thought, all right, good, that's a good combination. I'm not gonna do a book that everybody likes if I don't like it, of course. So I did this, but I thought, oh yeah, but it's just so thin, it's so tiny. It's very different than what I've been doing. So I thought, okay, I'll have a patch made just to make it better, make it a present again. If you get it at home, you're like, oh, it's a tiny book, but oh wait, there's a patch in there. I'm so happy I could cry. And the patch turned out really, really well. I had it done by a Dutch company, and I rang them on the phone, and somebody with a very thick Chinese accent answered the phone, and we did some business, and I'm pretty sure they had them made in China. But they came out really well, and I love it. Usually he doesn't have big arms like that. He has really tiny stick arms, but I thought it would be so hard to make it into a patch that I came up with a story where he tears the arms off a bodybuilder on the beach and sticks them on himself just so I could have this patch done. So, okay. Alright, and then I had this book done, and this is one, and now it's June, and last year, as you may remember, I'm sure it was in Poland as well, it was an extraordinarily hot summer. It was awful, right? Was it here very hot as well last summer? Maybe not. Maybe we're really that far apart that you didn't have a hot summer. We had an excruciating summer. It was horrible. And also, I did some calculating, and I found out that the next book that I was going to make, this book, was actually going to be the actual 200th book that we did with, you know, the whole collective combined. But as I was doing a lot of books, like one every month, I was pretty sure that I was going to be the one to do that 200th one. But then I was, oh God, it's going to be the 200th one. It has to be amazing. It has to be best ever. And it was really warm, and you have to remember that. And so I didn't get a whole lot of work done because I thought, oh, I don't know how to draw anymore. How do you draw people? I don't like drawing people. I don't even know how. And I was really getting in my own way and getting in my head too much because it's a 200 book. And but then after a while I calmed myself down and I got to drawing it, and it's like a Leporello. It's like a story that goes on. It's like one drawing, and these two characters, they just are talking a little bit and walking through this landscape. But even after I drew it, it turned out that it was a lot of work making this. Because even though it's just on one, I printed it on one A3 paper and cut it in half and pasted it together, as you do usually with these Leporello zigzag harmonica kind of books. You know Leporello, maybe. This is a Leporello, it's fold-out books. It was a lot of work, and I had to make creases for all these folds. You had to crease it like with a ruler and the back of a bread knife or something, like not too sharp but still a little bit sharp, and crease it before you can fold it really nicely. And so with all this, and I made 300 of these because I thought, okay, I'll make 200 for subscribers, and then I have 100 to take with me to comic festivals. And wow, it took me weeks to make this book, because then I had the Leporello, but I thought, well, but it has to be really fancy, so why don't I make a hardcover back, on the back and front, a hardcover on both sides, and I'll have like linen, bookbinder's linen on the cardboard, and I'll print it. So I bought 19 square meters of bookbinder's linen, and I cut it all into little pieces so I could fit in my printing machine, and I have this big color laser printer, you know. And so it actually came out really cool. It could print on the linen. I had no idea. I did the tests and stuff, and I thought, wow, that looks amazing. So I did all that, and then I cut all the edges off, and then I put binder's glue, and I put it on and fold it in there a little. And I had to do that like 2 times, 300, like 600 times. I had to do this. So I watched. I think I put a computer on. So I had some series, and while I was watching, I was kind of listening, sometimes looking at a series. I think I saw season 1 to 5 of House of Cards while I was gluing these back covers. So, all right, and yeah, and it looks kind of cool. In the back is 4 dogs with 200 turds. If you've listened to me at all, you kind of understand what that's all about. And it's all right. And I had these bags, and in the beginning I thought, oh, okay, I have this bag, so I can order. I know where to order them, where to get them. And I actually scaled down the book by a few millimeters so it would fit exactly in this bag. It's so sweet. Look at that. Oh my God. That is amazing, right? And I knew I had these bags, so I just decided, okay, if I make the whole thing, like maybe 2.5 millimeters smaller, and I'll scale everything, and it'll just fit, and everybody's going to ask, where did you get these bags that fit exactly? But I just reverse engineered it somehow, sort of. So, all right. I think maybe I don't have. Oh yeah, I have some more pictures. I think I have to kind of hurry, probably. But I did this book during an exhibition that we had with the collective, and it's a reason book. It's about monsters. They come to take over the earth. You know the story. So, all right, and this is a 24-hour comic day story that I did, and I'm pretty. There's no pictures of that because I didn't end up making pictures of it for this. But it's cool. I added the color later, which really makes it kind of cool. The coloring is done of. I had these watercolor bits that I made a lot of them, scanned them in, and I just pasted them all behind all these little bits, and it has a really cool, nice effect. And it's really a sweet, like also sort of romantic story. And then there's these two characters, and another one who's in love with them, and they get cut in half. And at the end, they kind of bring those two halves together, and it's kind of really cool. And it didn't hit me until after I finished the whole book, the whole thing, that it probably had something to do that me and my girlfriend are expecting a baby. And this tiny thing that two people put together or something has something. It never occurred to me while I was drawing it or coloring it or printing the whole thing that, oh yeah, shit, this is my subconscious dictating this story or something. Like, oh yeah, we're expecting a baby. Due in May, by the way, so it's not there yet. All right, if I have a little bit of time, maybe we get kicked out, this is Victor Vishnu. Like I told you, I thought I can't do this whole project with one book a month without doing a Victor Vishnu book. So I tried to do a 24-hour comic day story, but I thought, yeah, but why should I not sleep? I could just do 3 times 8 hours and sleep in between, you know, watch some television with my girlfriend at night, and you know, in the evening, and it'll be fine. And I did that, and it worked. It still worked. So, Victor Vishnu book, not a lot to tell about that. It's Victor Vishnu, and not 24-hour, but 3 times 8. And then I did this. I go to a lot of comic festivals too with a couple of colleagues of mine, with Charlotte Dumoutier, who did for the LCAF festival the posters previous year, and Vasco, who is a really cool Riso printer, and Anna Stalinsky. We take Riso machines with us. We go to literary festivals or sometimes comic festivals, and we basically make a new zine every day. And people can see us drawing it, and people can see us printing it out and folding it and stapling it and whatever, and cutting it. And it's a lot of fun because usually it's more fun even if it's at a literary festival. Like went to the Frankfurt Buchmesse, and you know, there was something going on. There was some ruckus, you know. There was like all these guys at a table drawing, and we had this big machine and printed, and we gave them out for free. So I should say that we made like 500 copies of a magazine every day, and we gave them out for free. And every day the line would be bigger. And I don't know. Oh, the reason I'm telling this is because I drew this. This is a 2-part book. Actually, it counts as 1 month book. It's about Mrs. Yes and Mr. No, and they have Mrs. Yes has all kinds of hobbies that Mr. No completely hates or something. But so that is the book. You can read it somehow together. Like I love disco. I can't stop dancing to it. And Mr. No I hate disco. It's infantile, and it goes on and on and on. But in the end, it ends like kind of romantically. I guess I'm sort of a romantic sap or something. But it ends good. They fit together in a really cool way. And I did this because my colleagues were doing. We were in Luca Comics and Games Festival, comic festival, and they were all doing small zines on the Riso. And I thought, well, I'm going to do that too. And I didn't get around to it. I drew the thing, and we didn't have time to make it, so I made it at home. I found a Riso printer and did it. So that's why I'm telling you that. I think about all these cool colleagues of mine and 3D printing. And then finally, I want to tell you about this one. It's the one that I have not sent yet to my subscribers because my electrical cutting machine, it broke down. I have to change. Really cool. It's a small version of the real big ones that you have maybe at art school or something, or at, I don't know, a printer shop. And I have a small one, and it has the 2 buttons, and then you press it, and the knife comes down, and it's so amazing. I love it to death. But fortunately, there is some plastic cog in there that broke down, and I had to order it. It takes 2 weeks, and they have to come and put it in. So I went out a cutting machine for 3 weeks, man. It's terrible. So I couldn't finish this book and send it to all my subscribers. Instead, I brought just a few of them that I could carry on my bike, and I wrote to a friend of mine who has a really old cutting machine, really like big, this big iron thing with a wheel on top to hold your books steady, and then a big thing in it, like really like cast iron thing, like, you know. And so it would have taken a lot of time to do like 250 copies of this, but I did like 10 or 15 just so I could take some to here to you guys. Yay! So this is basically it's a book about, and I was actually considering having this like digitally printed or something. I thought, all right, so what if I do 250? You know, why don't I make 500 or something? Have it maybe even offset printed or whatever. Or so I went looking for it, and I thought, okay, so they can do a spot color of glossy ink, like transparent ink, and you can do like spot colors on the little weapons or the letters or something. Cool. I saw that on Phil's book, right? He has this small square book and has this spot. A glossy ink on it. Wow! And I thought that is so cool. But then I would have the inside the paper would have been like really thin, and I didn't like that. It would have been like, I don't know, 2 times as thin, and I couldn't have these little French covers. I don't know what they're called, and these flaps. Let's call them flaps. And I wanted them because it looks kind of cool, because the inside is just a little in, and this little flap makes it just, you know, it gives it the illusion like it's a really fancy book or something, to me anyway. And it has a back, and I couldn't have a back if I wanted it done there. So there were, I thought, I don't have to do it myself, and I don't have a cutting machine, and they can do this spot gloss, and I thought, I was thinking about it, but I wanted it to be nicer paper, better paper. I wanted it to have these flaps, and I wanted it to have a back. And so in the end, I decided, okay, I'll do it myself. I'll do it at home, and people have to wait even more for the new book, because I'm still those 2 books behind, but I'm working on it. And this is my book number 11 from the 1 book a month thing, 2018. So I think that's all I have to say. I have, apart from this first one, I don't have it for sale with me loose, because I think there is still some that I have to fold this dust jacket around, and I just came across a box. I thought, oh, I'll grab some out of there, and it turned out, oh, it's all these different parts. It's books like this and separate dust covers, and I have to still cut it, which I can't do. So I found out, I forgot about it. I didn't even finish the whole thing. But anyway, so I don't have that. I have like a complete set, but it'd be insanely expensive. But if you're interested in a subscription or something, come talk to me. It's you know, it's about to other countries than the Netherlands. I think it's about 126 euros, but it's shipping included. So, but I think it's about 500 zlotys or something. So it sounds like a huge amount of money or something. And I have some people that pay me like 2 or 4 parts, you know. So not just poor students, but also people with children or whatever. It doesn't matter, but it's a possibility. And you can get most of these separately if you're interested, and I'll be happy to make a drawing in them at my place. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and thank you for your patience, especially with that whole first bit of all different kind of work that I did, but which is just an indication to give you like who I am and what I've done before, I suppose. And so thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you have question time first?
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
Right. So I have 2 questions and 1 advice, alright? Should I start with questions?
Yes. No,
Okay.
start with advice.
Advice, alright.
Yeah.
Do you know what auto levels are in photography? Once you take a photo, you just run through any Photoshop. Auto levels is just to make grays either white.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's better to have it when you project it because
Yeah,
otherwise it's not visible. So loads of these
Right.
photos where it's not visible. Just
That's true.
Auto levels and
I understand what you mean, but to be honest, it also has a lot to do, I think, with the projection or the light in here or something. But the same, I have the same USB stick all over the time, and most of the time it works perfectly well. But I guess you're right. If the lighting is a little bit different, I should do it. All right, but quickly your questions. Otherwise, we have to make way.
What's your interactions with your subscribers? That is, do you have feedback from them after you produce a book? Or I haven't finished yet. And do you have requests from them for the next book, and how do you accommodate it?
Right. Well, I can tell you that I'm very happy that I don't take requests.
Ah.
Yeah. Because it would make it. I mean, I could if somebody shouts out an idea that I think, well, you know something, yeah, that could be cool. But I don't want it to feel like an assignment or work. I want it to be fun for me. I want to feel like, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna do this month. I feel like doing it, you know. And that's part of what makes it cool for me. This whole project is that I can just do what I want. I can come up with something different every month. To be honest, I did actually sometimes ask for topics from audience for a 24-hour comic day book or something, and I put all of that in there. So I do sometimes do that, but I don't. But people don't really try it even up until now. Nobody tried like, hey, do a children's book, or hey, do.
What about the other way around? The feedback.
Yeah, I do get feedback because I usually, when I finish a book, I put a video of it on my Facebook, and I've been meaning to do it on YouTube, but I think I have maybe something to put on there. But in this small video of a couple minutes, I'll explain what I've been doing this month, and just like I'm doing now, like, hey, I did this, and oh, look at this side, or look at, you know, and people are usually happy to see it, and they can't wait to get it in their home. And
you get from this.
Yeah. So usually when I post a video, I get feedback, and also sometimes when I post a video, I get more, new subscribers because they think, wow, I got into this, you know. So that's cool. Thank you for your questions.